Hi Aries, welcome, welcome, welcome to your Astro Reels. I'm starting another round. Yay! How exciting. I needed a quick break. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at the September 2023 reading as yet, please do make your way over. And of course, as with all things, use your own discernment. Take what resonates and what does not. Just go ahead and back pocket and come back and see if it resonates for you then. Sometimes it's just a matter of the energy not yet having broken through to the physical enough for you to identify it. So consider that. Also, if you'd like to work more personally with me, you know exactly where to find me. All of my information is on this page where you're watching. Just go ahead and click the Etsy link. All right? All right, so let's jump right in. Let's see what's going on for you, Aries. I love that card. It's all, you know what I'm hearing? Well, as we see the star card, we know it's a beautiful card to get for healing, energetic healing, just healing and reparation of something going on in your life. Now, this energetic healing that I'm getting is looking like, yes, a restoration, a reconstructing, but what it actually looks like is like, boop, a separation almost of a template from your frame. It's like, boink, and then cleaning it up inside, tinkering inside, restructuring the energy anatomy, and then the reattachment of a template, of that template back onto you. Now, just a quick example to kind of give you an idea. Now, whenever we want to look at something underneath a magnifying glass, right, what do? We take two little glass pieces, two little slides, and then here's one, and then we boink, we pour a drop of the liquid or whatever it is that we want, the specimen that we want to look at, and then we boink, put the other glass on top so that we can kind of have it now sandwiched in between these two things, and then we look at it underneath the microscope. So what I'm seeing here is, imagine you've got these layers, these little glasses, right? Because you're a multidimensional being, and in between those little glasses, and I'm just giving this analogy, it's not the best analogy, but it's what's being provided for us. In between, we've got these things, the specimen, the whatever's in there, and imagine wanting to get into that specimen to do things, or that liquid or whatever to do things. We have to take off one of those glasses, or these slides, excuse me, I don't know what the term is. Some of you are like shouting at the screen probably what the term is, but then working in there and then replacing it. So I'm getting hip surgery for somebody. For some of you, your healing process, your restructuring, all of this that's going on in your non-physical fields, right? Which is most of you, most of your body. The physical body is only visible to you because it's the smallest part, or the part that's actually vibrating within the visible range and within the physics of 3D physicality, so you can perceive of it and touch it and all of that with your eyes and your hands and your sensors, right? But the rest of you, which is magnanimous, it's huge, magnanimous, you know what I mean, that is non-physical, and you have anatomy to that as well. And so we're doing a lot of restructuring in the anatomical structures of your energy field. And for somebody here, for example, or somebody that you may know, that is manifesting in the physical, so as within, so below, those changes are manifesting for that person as some type of hip replacement or hip surgery or something like that. For somebody here, this may actually be your mother that they're referring to. God bless you. And the message coming through is, whether this is you or someone you love, such as your mother, they're going to be just fine. A little bit limited mobility, of course, but that's just to give you a little bit of a heads up. And I just heard that Christmas song, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. You know the rest. Christmas won't be the same this year without your loving arms. Remember that? Holding me so near, Jackson 5, anyone? But I'm just hearing the don't cry part. So anyway, that's specific for somebody, but it's also relating to a lot of us at this time. So please don't worry. Now I'm going to share a little bit about, I keep also hearing corporate restructuring, and I don't know why I keep ignoring it. Corporate restructuring, because especially at my job, right, my day job, we're having not corporate, but anyway, that's enough to say NDAs. But there's restructuring going on, and this is also what's happening because everything has its own energy anatomy as well. And so when you are experiencing these things, you have to understand that you're experiencing in the physical what is already occurring in the non-physical. And so your power in the physical is to, as the guides always say, practice ideological flexibility, practice acceptance, practice serenity, all of these things. So you can, as the cute quote goes, be the bamboo that sways in the wind but never breaks. And always remember, these things don't have to be drama filled. You keep sway. And in fact, when we look at Aikido, the martial arts form, which is actually more of readjusting the self to receive the blow, so to speak. So you change the frequency, you change the momentum, you change whatever is coming in towards you by responding, right? In, I guess, just a way to shift yourself, shifting, you sway. And so this swaying is what a lot of us are being asked to do right now. Sway. And it's drama free because as you sway, then you just decide, is this something I need to just leave, or is this something I need to sway with? And so that's something that you're going to have to consider for yourself, depending on who you are, what your needs are, what's going on in your soul chart, as well as what area of your life this is going through. This is occurring for you. For me, what I was going to say is right now I'm having a lot of restructuring in my field, of course, as well. And a lot of grief is coming up. And I'm talking about grief from childhood, all sorts of stuff, grief from my adult life, all sorts of stuff that have been embedded. Remember, they're removing certain things so that they can have access to things. And how that is manifesting in my physical is throat issues and stuff. That's why I'm trying to give myself a little vocal rest. If I were to go into the doctor, for example, they would probably say, oh, this is happening and your body's doing this and this is coming up in your body and these hormones and this and that and that. And that's all true in the body sense, but I need to not just listen to that, because that's anytime you're doing anything with the body, even if you do something that saves your life, you're not treating the root cause, you are just treating the symptoms. So for me, as I do energy healing and stuff, I understand that, thank you, I do need to know what's happening in my physical body so I can, make sure that things are going okay, that I don't have to remove things, that I don't have to take this medication, that blah, blah, blah. But I also understand that I want to get to the root of this. And the minute I stop and I think, and I literally think, just check in, hey, what's going on, throat? And I literally just put my hand energetically. You can just imagine it. When you imagine, all you're doing is you're actually moving things. So when you imagine choking out somebody that you are angry with, be mindful, you're doing it, right? So the minute I touched my throat, I just felt all of this grief and all of this information coming in about the ages I was, what parent was involved, or both parents, and all these things. And information was coming. And I also realized, it's not that it's not simply a matter of diet or simply a matter of, you have allergies, because that information would have been presented to me, even though underlying allergies are also stuff like that is information as well. So anything that happens in the physical body and in your environment has a root cause in the non-physical. And so I realized, I have to do some grief work, because right now it is strangling me in this throat. And in the way that our language reflects what's happening for us a lot of times is, it goes unnoticed. So for example, when you say, her, what did he say? Her heart was caught in her throat, or the sobs were caught in the throat, or and also I've seen this in healing sessions as well. When people have their throat stuff, when we look inside, it's literally their screams that have not been let out. right? So these are things you have to understand. These are the things that are clogging the system, that are blocking, that are creating distortions in your field, that are causing your hormones to go all off, that are allowing certain genetic things, genetic markers to manifest for you, and whereas it doesn't for another person in the family, right? So it's, I hope that makes sense for a lot of you. It's just what's happening for a lot of you. And of course, as you know, we're reading for quote unquote Aries, but it's not necessarily for Aries. It's a collective reading. Now, as I see this 9 of coins here, anytime I see this, well, it always takes on a different meaning for whatever's appropriate for the reading here. But nine of coins specifically talks to the independence of someone, right? So there are other things that go along with the 9 of coins, but as they're showing me here, they're showing you discarding a lot of things. So there are a lot of things that are being discarded as you do this healing work. But here's the question. You may wonder, well, Jay, while all of this is happening in my non-physical, well, what could I be doing? Well, what you can be doing is following your impulses to release certain things. Even if, like, for example, before I started this video, I just looked over to the left and I saw all of these, cute little glass bottles with the little jams that, I love those kinds of things because I love jams. Anyway, they're cute. They're small and you open them, you spread. And I was like, I don't need those anymore. And they still had jam in them, but I know I'm not going to probably eat them. And so I just said, let me just put that out to go. And I went over and I was about to press start on here and I just paused it and I went and I discarded it and then I came back. So a lot of you are being asked to throw things out, and I feel that a lot of these things are piece by piece. So somebody here may have been asked to throw out some shoes. Those shoes may not even have been yours. I feel your father's energy on it. So maybe your father gave you this, or a father figure or a masculine that reminds you of your father, whether you may or may not be aware of that, or something is going on here. Maybe if you've had a father, God bless, who is transitioned already into spirit and deaf, doesn't need those shoes because his shoes are much better by now. You're being asked to throw these things out. Now remember, just because you throw things out doesn't mean I don't love this person, or I'm forgetting about them, and that's all just a mind trap keeping you stuck into keeping energetic stuff around you that's ready to go, right? So think logically. Me throwing out this necklace that I'm never going to use, and yes, it reminds me of my mother and stuff, but yet I'm also feeling to throw this out. Sometimes even your mom standing next to you in spirit, like, throw that out, throw that out, throw that out, throw that out, because they see the effect it has on your physical body and your energetic anatomy, which is going to manifest into the physical body. And if you're struggling with something like that, you're creating distortions in the field. So they're like, throw it out, throw it out, throw it out. And then finally, when you bring yourself to give yourself the permission to do what all of the heavens have been saying to do, and you're not noticing that, when you finally do it, then boom, something else comes in, and it has your mom written all over it. You're like, oh my God, so it's upgrade season. It's time to release. So Spirit is saying, in order to assist in this process, when you get promptings to do certain things, whether it's to journal, whether it's to do some type of psychosomatic work, whether it is to call someone up or ignore someone or just whatever. I don't know. What are we doing? Throw out shoes, buy a beach ball. And this is not to say, that's very specific, so that's for somebody. That's not to say to just go willy-nilly and give in to every impulse, of course, right? But you'll know when you're being called to do something, go ahead and do it, because that's the way. Look at that. Yeah, the end card, you see? That's the way to put an end to certain things. Okay, wait, just this card. You have a little jump. There's the grief card, yeah? I know what I'm saying. Look at the sadness card. I know what I'm saying. What's this? Yes. They're like, work with us. Okay, 6 of coins. Yeah, help us. Help me, help you. You know the scene from Jerry Maguire. Help me, help you. That's what the guides are saying. So take the action steps now that you're being pushed, guided, prodded, encouraged, however, whatever words forced some of you, whatever word you perceive as appropriate is how you are projecting onto it. So for me, my guides will encourage. If you're self-punisher and this and that, you're going to interpret it as your guides forcing you, right? So always remember, you're bringing your own stuff to all of these interactions. All they're saying is, hey, we're helping you. It's time to get moving. Mwah.